was observing at the beginning of my statement, that there is time for everything. And in politics, timing is very, very important. I have been thinking through this moment over the last couple of months. I've been consulting over this moment with the young, the old, the women, the youth, the children, the religious leaders, cultural leaders. I have consulted, which is why some months back, the world was waiting to hear from me, asking, Mpuga zaako ki? I'm here to tell you and tell the world, kiki ekikola ki ekiddako. And I want you to listen. Probably in our lifetime, we shall not have occasion to educate ourselves as to the afflictions, to the challenges, to the inhibitions that we have encountered in trying to engender the kind of democracy that we have desired over time. No doubt, you all know that my life and the life for most of you has been a life of struggle in trying to bring the best out of ourselves and the best out of Uganda, so that the bequest that Uganda will become, that the heritage that Uganda and the rest of Uganda will become, will be one we can bequeath to generations. Twali kubuusabuusa, nze nammwe tulwanye olutalo ebbanga ddene, bannaffe bafiiriddemu, abalala balemadde, abamu babuzeewo. There's no sight that clarity at the end of the tunnel is visible. Ekitanga tetukinoonya tetukiraba. Today I'm happy that I'm speaking to you with the comrades from across political parties, ANT, FDC, Katonga Group, the DP Bloc, and NUP. This is Uganda that was formed 62 years ago. Uganda ng'ezaalibwa emyaka 62 egiyise. Ekifaananyi ekyaliwo kye Uganda eyawamu egenda mu maaso. One independent progressive country that will serve all and sundry. One nation united in the service of her people. That for 62 years we have not achieved. And sadly, one single person has been at the helm of the state for 40 years. I am 49 years. Somebody has ruled for 40 years. He came to power when I was barely 9 years, in primary 4. It's a shame. Okufuga banne emyaka 4 kya bujega. Okubalemerako kya buyaaye. Obutawa kkubo lye tugenda kukwata kya bugwagwa. I'm here to invite you to join me, to join my leader team, to join the DP Bloc, to join the whole alliance my brother Chamunda has talked about, into one single file of struggling Ugandans for a better country. And I can tell you, we have missed a lot of opportunities. We have lost time, backbiting each other, backstabbing each other, instead of serving the enemy of our common peoples. Omulabe w'abantu baffe gwe tuwadde ekiseera ne muteerawo akakeeka ne kapeti emyufu n'atambulirako n'atusekerera n'otukwema n'atuwema ndowooza ng'alaba abantu abalina omukisa okumuggyako obuyinza bamukubira mu ngalo abusigaze mu bugenderevu mu kumanya n'obutamanya. Some of our actions have only entrenched the enemy of our common peoples. Probably Mr. Museveni would have left power a long time ago, but for our actions, he feels strong and stronger to stay on hold. And the biggest danger for us and generations ahead that Museveni dreams of his son succeeding him. And some of us are happy that that bequest will also hold. I'm here to invite you to join us, to join every one of us, to join the struggling Ugandans into that common call that we are not going to make that mistake again. We have our friends we have left at Kavule. They have their issues. We have Uganda to save. They will save themselves, and we shall save them when they fail to save themselves. Baganda bafabo sagana bafuula nsonga balina ebizibu bingi Dr. Byanika abyogeddeko. Ebizibu ebibajjudde ebibeetoolodde tewali asobola kubuuza kibuuzo, tokkirizibwa kulowooza, tokkirizibwa kufaanana nti olina amagezi, kyabulabe nnyo. Olina kulaga nti otambuza mutwe amagulu ge gali waggulu. Ebyo ebizibu bibamala, twagala kubongerako birala. And I don't want to make them a subject of this, our struggle. They also need liberation because they have nowhere to go. They have eyes and legs and arms. They have no reason to use them. They are content. Kyembadde nnina okukola nkikoze. Obwongo bwange mbuwaddeyo, amaanyi nga waddeyo ne bino binfuukira ekizibu. Lwaki ayogera nnyo Oluzungu? Lwaki apulaninga nnyo? Lwaki alowooza nnyo? I am here to apologize to my brothers that I never gave myself that brain to think. God gave it to me, and I have to use it for the benefit of common good. And therefore, they should never be the subject of our struggle, because they also need to be liberated. My brothers and sisters, it's time to think anew, time to move afresh, time to dream again, time to struggle again, time to work again together. And why do we do this? Why do we do this? We don't need to be the most closest of friends. Tetuli wano kubeera ba mukwano nnyo. Tulina obwa Sseruganda nga bannayuganda. Tulina obwa nnyinoomu ng'abantu abalina ebirooto ebimu. Tulina obwa Sseruganda ng'abantu abagenda mu lugendo olumu. Ekyo kitumala. Omukwano tujja gunoonya nga tumaze okutegeera nti obukulu bwa byonna kununula ggwanga. Therefore, tujja kukola n'abantu bonna nga si mikwano gyaffe. Tetugenda kuggala luggi lwonna. Tugenda kukonkona ne ku nzigi ze tulowooza nti za balabe baffe. We shall knock on the doors of our enemies for the sake of this country. We shall speak to the people we ought never have spoken to for the sake of Aruma Matter, for the sake of our children. Tujja kwogera n'abantu be tolowooza nti balowooza kitono. N'abo abakufu, n'abanyiivu ennyo, n'abasanyufu ennyo. Abantu abo ab'emirundi ena ab'obulabe be mumanyi obulungi. Abanyiivu ennyo n'abasanyufu ennyo. Abayera ennyo n'abakufu ennyo. We shall look for them, speak to them, and ask them that we have one job to do to save this country from going down the abyss. This is the job me and you are here to promise. This country is a suffering nation. It's a sick country. People are sick. People are tired. People are injured. People are harmed. People need to be healed. We need healing. That healing must come from our common unity. Unity of purpose to deliver one single mission, saving this country from going under the abyss. A few months back, I proposed to my colleagues in Parliament and the Parliament that we are going to engender a new framework that will give us a new outlook in the coming elections. Most of you are eager to participate in the next coming election. But then you ask, what difference will it make? What kind of difference will happen if we woke up today to participate in an election that makes no difference, to simply partake of a ritual that will not change the history of this country? Reforms in our electoral system. I have proposed reforms and amendments to the Constitution. Some people are saying, Lwaki abirese? Lwaki temubirese? Lwaki aleese ebyo nammwe muleete ebyammwe? Because I would like us to dream together, I have brought my proposals. And I'm inviting everybody to join me in making sure that these proposals, the propositions for a better and well-managed electoral system, become an issue before you begin parading each other for an election. Waliwo abeesoose nja kwesimbawo, nze neesoose. Siri mu byakwesooka, siri wano kulangirira kwesooka. I'm here initially to invite you to fight for a free and fair electoral process. Gwe mulimu ogusooka. The first task of the Democratic Alliance will be to go throughout the country to make reforms the major issue in this country for the next 12 months. Abagala okwesimbawo ng'omukolo ogw'okwawula abalongo, Mukama ababeere. Okwesimbawo si mukolo. Abagala ebifo abalala twabifuna dda. Toyina kyoganyulwa mu kifo nga banno bali bubi. We must make it better and fair for everyone to compete and win. That's the job. The members of the DP bloc and the My Leader team and the rest of us, that is the job. We should cease seeing each other from a small mirror. We are going to put a big mirror in front of this country so that everyone can see themselves in that mirror. Endabirwamu ennene mu maaso g'Abannayuganda. Buli omu ng'alengeramu okutuukwe, eriiso lye oba enviiri ze. This is a big country. It's a wealthy country. Si kyalo kya muntu omuntu asolozeemu obusuulu. We want to redefine our politics. I can see lots of younger people here who have dreams and aspirations. We don't need anybody's approval to do that. Twetaaga muntu yenna tuwalukusa kukola ekyo. Omukago guno gugenda kutambula nga gwongera okwebuuza n'okweyubula. Emyezi egijja gujja kusimbawo n'abakulembeze ne pulezidenti nga mwali, bameeya, ababaka ba paalamenti, bakansala. Twetaaga lukusa lwa muntu yenna. We only need the support of Ugandans that want to see a different Uganda. Mwabazze wano tubatuma to be the ambassadors of this platform. So to you, my brothers, away from this platform, omukago guno gukyali muggule. We are going to speak to everyone. Banaffe abali mu DP ey'enkumbi, eyawangukamu omuyini. They are very good people. They nurtured me. They made me what I am. They trained me. To you younger people, we are going to return that favor. Tugenda bawa obudde tubatendeke, tubasomese, tubabulire ekyokukola, ate tubadeployinge mugende mukole. Like we were trained and deployed. We owe you that duty. Ngenda bawa obudde nga bwe nasuubiza era ntandise. How do we find ourselves in this kind of situation? One of us, a major pillar of our struggle, Dr. Besigye, is in prison. And somehow life is moving on normally as if nothing happened. Because the leading opposition party in Uganda is in deep slumber. Ekibiina ekisinga obunene mu opposition mu Uganda bali mu kufuluuta batadde n'ensaya. How does that happen? For the very first time, there's nothing going on. The last time I checked, the leader of that group was planning a big concert. That is the plan. The plan is lack of a plan. I want to believe that it is deliberate. Buli bwalaba abakola nti abo babasasudde. Bye byafaayo bye twali muyimbi akwata muzinalo nga tebamusasudde okujjako ono ali mu struggle. They must know that they are citizens. They are struggles. You don't have to pay them to do certain things. Then will ask you, comrades, we don't have a lot of time. Obudde bwatugwako dda. Omuli azaamaanyi aleza amanya gwakola ki? Wasinze. For the reason that General Museveni and his cocoon have ruled us for 40 years, it's because our actions have fallen short of being deliberate on power. Obuyinza emyaka 4 nga tebeekyusa era bakyayagala. Bajja embuto ziri ku mugongo ziri mu mannyo era bakyayagala. What shall we tell our children? Nti twaliwo ne tulaba ne tutya nnyo kubanga baali batuvuma nga batutyoboola. And some of those people hired to do that, I want to tell you, nti temuli mu kukola mulinganga abakunamira muzibe kwatabalaba. We don't have your time. We have time for this struggle. We have time to work for this unity. We are a fractured opposition. We must admit that we are fractured, that we must work so hard, that we must climb down our high horses and come down and speak to each other in humility and sincerity as to what we need to do and must do urgently to save this nation from going down the abyss. That's the job. The DA must rise to the promise of our independence. We must give hope to the workers, to the people struggling to sustain this country. We must give hope to the teachers who are struggling to keep our children in school and teach while not discriminated. The aba science ba waggulu nnyo, aba humanities ba wansi. Who does that and is a leader? We must give hope and promise to the doctors sustaining our ailing health care. We must give promise and hope to the farmers who are struggling and they are being alienated from the promise of our independence. We must give hope and promise to the younger people that we can plan it better. 75% of this country are younger people below 35 years. They need leaders with a plan, with hope. Beetaaga bakulembeze sabagenda basolozaamu gye bakolera, abagenda balootera babakolera pulaani entuufu. Tunoonya bamusolooza, tunoonya bakulembeze abagenda okulootera abantu baffe, abalimi, abasomesa, abasawo, abasuubuzi, banneekolera jjanga bali wansi eyabonaabona be bajjako omusolo nga abataazaalibwa. They need leadership that will give that promise. That's why we sat down with these, my friends from the DP block, to dream again. Today, we are here to announce the birth of the DA, the Democratic Alliance. We have given ourselves that task to move all the way. We are going to speak to everyone. We are going to speak to everybody. We are going to knock on every door. We are even going to open closed windows. We are going to speak to all in the tunnels, in the jungles, to listen to the promise of this nation, a promise of a new dream. Emyaka 62 bw'oba musajja oba totuludde butuluzi bw'oba skeera okufuna ezadde oba ozukuzizza. Uganda bw'ebeera muvubuka osobola ojjuwa muwalawo agiwase. If Uganda were a young man looking for a wife, you'll be giving your daughter to a woman beater. Osobola okuwa muwalawo ekisajja ekikuba abakazi ku kyalo naye kimuwase. We must rekindle the promise of a progressive nation in our words and actions with humility. You saw these, our senior citizens who came, they have given me a document that contains the litany of their hopes, wishes, but also frustrations. Comrades, when you go out there, speak against pettiness. Speak against divisionism. Speak about self-interest. Speak against the kind of spirit that has killed our struggle for the last 4 years. For the last 4 years, one group of actors has had occasion to speak about one person, the name of Mathias Mpuuga. Has been their business for 4 years. Unfortunately, we have lost time, opportunity, and space. Mpuuga bamunywera mu kyayi nga wa majaani, bwe bazuuka balogoota Nampuuga mutabani wa Nsamba. Tufiiriddwa emyaka 4, tewali kuteesa, tewali kutuula, tewali kwegeyaamu, tewali kuwuliziganya, tewali kuwaŋŋana magezi. I want to announce that I am around and I'm going nowhere. I'm more energized to make that solemn promise that I'm ready for the task you'll ask me to do. I want to invite all of us, without prejudice, from wherever you come from, my brother Chamondo, from Jema. The opposition must sit under one big tent, under one big tree, not a small umbrella. One big tent, and speak about what we have failed to do, and speak about what has gone wrong, with humility and courage to march forward. Certainly, we shall not be friends all the time, but we have only one country called home we all must protect and save. Kyokka kimala nti waliwo eggwanga lye bayita Uganda lye tugenda okulwanirira, gwe mulimo gwaffe. Ebirala bitono nnyo. Agala okuyomba ne munne agende bayombe. Mugende mwesibire ewantu muyombe. Stop the pet fights. Stop the pet quarrels, ridiculing of others on social media. Use social media positively to promote our agenda. I want to send you people, you hear our friends promoting our agenda, use social media to promote our agenda. Leave the others promote their pettiness. Tulina omulimu munene mukozesa amasimu ago n'emitimbagano okutwala mu maaso omulimu guno omunene ogw'obumu ogw'okukolera awamu. Nga bwe ŋŋambye mu bbanga sidde ne DA ejja kuvaamu ekibiina ky'ebyobufuzi nga tumaze okukanya bwe kinaafaanana bwe kinaatunula. Twaba batiisatiisa nti nga mukyusiza ebibiina. Ekibiina si ddiini era si ggwanga. Tosobola kubeera mu kibiina nga bakirumba bongoota, ng'obwo bazuukusa batema misiki, ng'olina ekkatala n'osigala nga oli mu bazuukusa essaawa 24. You move on and work anew. Mwegomba nnyo bannaffe ab'e Kenya bakyusiza obuyinza bujja bafuna bwetwaze. They have been evolving. We must learn to evolve, to change, to move, to work together, even when we are not the most bosom of friends. There's one only country called Uganda. The Sina and Sinda, alanyina passport yemu, nendaga muntu yemu, egamba ki? Uganda. Njala kwebaza muto wange, musajja wa Kabaka, Murwana. Katonda yakuwa ekitone okikozesezza n'oyamba abavubuka bangi. Abavubuka bo abakwagala era bakugoberera okuva n'olwali tugenda bagatako ekirala, obumu ne discipline. Speak to the ills that afflict the common person, and they must get out of peasantry. We are not going to be proud of harboring a country of peasants. We have the capacity and the resources. Obugagga obuli mu ggwanga bumala, si bwa kyalo kimu, si bwa maka gamu, si bwa muntu omu. Twabanjako ne twegayirirako katugenda kubanya tukuba n'omusinde. We must demand that this country goes back on a path of democracy. Temubuguumirira kalulu kajja kababuguumiriza. Tubuguumire kuwaliriza Mwami Museveni ateekewo enkyukakyuka. Kumuwaliriza, kumubanja, si kumwegayirira. Bannaffe abali mu NRM tetujja kufaanana nga mmwe. Temubadde balungi naye tujja bakuuma, tujja bakolako ffujjo nga limukoze ku baana baffe. Tumanyi bulungi abakoze ffujjo ku bantu baffe. Ababuzizaawo abantu baffe tubamanyi. Abetabye mu kitta bantu tubamanyi. We are not out for revenge and retribution. We shall lead the path to justice. Tetwagala kuwolera ggwanga, twagala bwenkanya. Situlwanirira kuwolera ggwanga. Abantu baffe batuukiddwako ebikolobero eby'enjawulo. And I can tell